And welcome to episode 12 of the On a Family Based podcast. My name is Jake.
I'm Dan.
I'm Dallas.
And I'm Ben.
And I'm very thankful we did not have an order issue this time, Dan. So thank you for that. That was
Thanks, Dan.
it's a lot smoother.
It's not as special when you keep bringing it up.
No, I feel like it gets more special.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
All right, well, we'll move on to something that we can actually talk about then. So let's talk about, as we always intro our show, what have you guys been watching this past week in sports, but also not in sports? What have you guys been watching? Dan, why don't you go first? What have you been watching in sports and outside of sports?
Your mom.
NCAA tournament. Just finished the first two rounds. Been a lot of fun. I did not do a bracket, so I kind of wanted to just really watch and enjoy all the games and not have any really, outside of a few teams, have any bias in the tournament. Just wanted to see some good games. Not in sports. Not a lot. I don't really watch a lot of regular TV. Kind of stick to sports primarily.
Exciting.
Yeah.
So Dallas, what have you been watching?
Exhilarating, Dan. Exhilarated. Thanks for bringing us into that. I've been watching a lot of March Madness and, like a lot of sports and sporting things.
Touchdowns and home runs and
Balls and hoops.
and
Wow.
and
Very fun.
So
and
I did
and
try. So today, I saw the Cubs were playing spring training, and I was about to turn it on, and then I went to the dog park. So that's what happened.
that is
Cool.
just about how your brain works. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. I'm gonna go watch a baseball game and I'm at a dog park.
And I'm
Okay. Yeah, I haven't been watching much. We did a lot of moving. We've been, getting settled in the new place and doing all that kind of stuff. My wife watched Zoolander for the first time. I know I talked
First
to her.
time?
Yeah. She doesn't watch a lot of movies, especially
First time.
dumb movies like that. But I forgot how funny it was, genuinely funny. And then there's something about watching those movies with her when she's watching it for the first time that it just makes it more funny and enjoyable. Because her knowing that she's laughing at the ridiculous stuff that we laughed at 20 years ago when the movie came out.
Right.
21 years, or maybe it's 20 years, but either way, it's like right at the time. Yeah. Dude, like when he flips out the little cell phone.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's talking to God.
Yeah.
Dude, amazing. So it's just like that, even that technology, right? Like flip phones had to come back. And then it was,
Sure.
how small can we make our phones? And now our phones are even back to getting bigger and bigger, It's
Yeah.
just, it was a weird
Huge.
like flashpoint back in time of like what 2001 was, even in style and all that kind of stuff. But so just enjoying watching that movie with her was perfect. Other than that, yeah, dude, we watched a little bit of basketball at Dan's house Saturday, but even that was like mixed in with conversation and kids running around. So that was it.
Yeah.
That was about it. What about you?
Yeah. I have tried to watch spring training. As excited as I am for spring training in the season to start, I have a very hard time watching spring training. And we'll kind of get to that. That's the second base topic. But spring training, I watch like an inning or two the most, and then I flip to something else, and then I'll go back because they happen all day, and then they're on repeat. So I mainly just I don't know. I have a hard time watching it, but but I've had fun watching it when I have. Mainly I've watched the Blue Jays in spring training and the Cubs. So
Fair enough.
it's been fun overall. And then outside of sports, I have actually what is it? You know what? I'm not ashamed to say it. Ellie and I have been rewatching. I think I even said it last time. We've been watching through Gilmore Girls again.
Hmm.
And yes, I said again because I've
See,
seen it.
that would imply a
You
first
watched
time.
it once.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it twice already. Okay.
Wow. See, but I think everybody has those shows, though. That's all right.
You're gonna start
Maybe not
watching
Dan.
Felicity next.
Dan doesn't sit and watch
Mm.
anything, I
Felicity.
don't think. But I think everybody has one of those shows that are kind of like, whatever. I like the show, and I don't care.
Excuse me.
So I
Yeah,
don't blame you.
it started off as mainly just a show that my wife liked, and I don't love the show, but it's not bad to have on, and I mean it's not like super inappropriate or super like raunchy, but I mean in the early 2000s, so it's nothing crazy. So anyway, so yeah, we're in season 4, which is so much, but either way, so but yeah, that's about it. So
Oh, I've been rewatching Sunny. My wife's been watching Sunny for the first time. So talk about polar opposite of Gilmore Girls.
yeah,
Yeah, so she's been watching that, and what we've been doing is watching like some of the newer episodes of the new seasons. So even ones that I haven't seen. So I'm getting to watch new episodes for the first time too.
That's
Um,
cool.
yeah, it's funny though. It's a good show.
No, there's
Yeah.
legit, I think, 2 series that I've ever watched from the beginning.
Yeah.
One,
Those are.
Can I guess? Can I guess? Can I guess? Can I guess?
yeah, go ahead.
One's gonna be Band of Brothers. I know that for sure. If
Yes.
that
Okay,
counts.
okay. I wasn't considering those because, but yeah. So yes, then there's probably.
I was gonna
I
say
guess-
that in the Pacific.
So that's
the
so.
the
Okay,
the
we'll
two
go ahead.
more
We'll go.
shows that
We'll go
have
ahead and
been
go.
made.
And the Rocky
We'll go ahead.
series.
We'll go ahead and add 2
It's not a
2
TV
more
show,
to
but
that.
also
So there's 4 of
Okay.
TV
Okay,
shows that I've watched
what are-
from the beginning.
what are they?
One would be The Walking Dead.
Hmm.
I didn't actually get into The Walking Dead until probably like season 4.
Ooh, Okay.
You caught up.
Yeah, and then I got caught up, and then I progressed with the series as it went on.
Yeah.
Except the new one, I haven't seen any of the new this current season, whatever they're calling it.
Okay.
And then the other one is also Jake, probably in the lines of what you're thinking of, probably going to get made fun of for it, but it would be How I Met Your Mother.
I watched it one time through.
I've seen it. I
You're
watched
lucky I
it.
have 2 thumbs, man. Both
Couple
of you get
things.
one.
I watched it with Katie. We sat and watched the entire series from start to finish of How I Met Your Mother.
All right. Well, since we're airing our guilty pleasure TV shows,
Wow,
mine
good.
is Psych. I don't know if anyone's seen
That's
that.
not a guilty
I've
pleasure.
seen-
That's actually a good
Yeah.
show.
I've seen every episode 3 times all the way through, and I've seen all 3 movies multiple times as well. It is the show. Like, you know how people have The Office or that show that they can just kind of put on in the background while they're
Yeah,
doing a million other
that's
stuff?
me.
Okay, so that's my Office, where I could just put it on any episode, and I'm going to be entertained. It's great. I love that show.
No, Psych is a good show. It's just not a show I ever watched from start to finish or cared to. I will say though, I've never actually seen an entire episode of Game of Thrones, and which
Yeah.
is shocking because everything about
No.
that series is like a lot of
right up your alley.
interest and enjoyments.
What's that Rain of Fire, dude? That's
so
Dan
in-
written all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll get
Matthew
in-
McConaughey.
Dude, I think he went and saw that in theaters. That's not a joke.
What, Rain of Fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see it in theaters. 100%. I actually went by myself.
By yourself.
I went by myself because Dad couldn't go and Ben refused to, so I went and saw that by myself.
Man, this is gonna be so good. Let me get some popcorn with extra butter.
You think you act like yeah, I literally did. I probably got like a nacho, a snow cap, and a Coke, and
Got a 3-course meal.
and I watched Rain of Fire in theaters by myself.
Give
But,
himself a little happy.
This
When he
is
says
a
by
sad
himself-
episode.
We'll
When
get
he
into
says
this
by
a little
himself,
more.
he means nobody else in the whole theater saw that movie.
There-
It was just him.
There
One
might
person,
have
one-
been
Dan was their
there
box
might-
office.
there might have been 7 people.
At the
Yeah.
midnight release.
Needless to say, I had space to stretch out. Ain't nobody
Yeah.
seen that. But back to Game of Thrones in my absence going forward here, which we'll get more into in a little while. In my absence, I plan on watching Game of Thrones from start to finish. I'd like to see it. I just never actually cared to. I didn't have HBO, and by the time it was already on and running, I was like, whatever at this point. But I will watch it going forward here and get caught up, or at least complete the series.
Well, I am totally okay with saying I've never seen it in one episode, and I have no interest in seeing it. And that's all right. You're okay then. No worries.
It's a good show though.
It sounded like
Yeah.
a good show.
Yeah,
Dude, one of
I
the best
heard.
theme songs ever, dude. That theme song is iconic. It's right up there with like
All right.
the Simpsons theme song. I'm just saying, you gotta respect it.
And now we're pushing 11 minutes talking about this. So
It's a good topic. It's a good topic.
No, it definitely is. Maybe it's not our podcast, but we can definitely talk about it later. So let's actually have this very hard right to our first base topic, which is all of the free agent moves and transactions that have happened since our last episode. Now, if you remember, our last episode, we only had two major signings. That was Rodon to the Giants, Kershaw back to LA. That was it. Every move that happened, every big move happened in the last 7 days.
Yeah.
And there's still free agents and trades to be made for sure. But as we start off, there's going to be overall 5 different things, the 5 different signings, transactions, or topics I want to just quickly talk about. So I want to get your take on this. Ben, why don't you start us off with this? Who got the better deal at the end of the day? Was that Trevor Story going to the Red Sox, or was that Carlos Correa with his 3-year deal going to the Twins? Who got the better deal?
So when we talked about the Correa deal, I think I said then that, and I think you and I agreed that the opt out after every year is what makes it the best deal. So he's not stuck in Minnesota for longer than maybe the trade deadline. If Minnesota is terrible, which they have Gary Sanchez now, they have some pieces where they're going to be bopping, they're going to be hitting at least. But if they can, all right.
Nice.
No, I would say, yeah, but realistically, it's the Correa deal because he gets the opt out after every year. It's only a 3-year deal at most, and he's still getting a ton of money. I was listening to Bill Simmons' podcast, and he says he had some inside knowledge that because Correa switched to Boris right before he signed this
Yeah.
deal, that the deal is short on the first year, I guess, because Boris would have to split that with Correa's old agent.
Gosh.
And so the money isn't as high. And that's why the money's kind of backloaded after that as well. So that's an ugly side of the contract stuff. But realistically, just quick, long answer short, Correa, the opt out after every year that's the way I'm going. Plus, I don't like Trevor Story's home road splits aren't super sick.
Well,
and he
yeah.
strikes out a bunch, but
So Dan, what's your take? Did Trevor Story or Carlos Correa get the better deal?
I mean, Carlos Correa's deal gives him an option to jump ship, which I guess is ideal for every player, like individually. But I think honestly, as far as like playing time, winning, I think Trevor Story's got a better situation in Boston to be on a more competitive team that's got a chance to make a playoff run and a World Series run. So I mean, I lean more towards Trevor Story for the fact that he gives himself more of an opportunity and a place to play that's in a better position to win and compete.
He's going to play second base, right?
Yeah. Well, ideally, they want to move him to second.
But I guess he's apparently a better defensive shortstop than Bogarts, which is weird that they won't just shift Bogarts.
Well, the one thing about that is that there has been major concern coming out about Trevor Story's velocity throwing. Apparently, over the last 5 years, he went from an average velocity throwing from shortstop of 87 miles an hour to last year of 77. It's only decreased. So maybe it's not a concern, maybe it's not a real thing to worry about, but at least for 1 year, because Xander Bogaerts has an opt out,
Mm,
he can opt out from the Red Sox after this next year. So if he opts out, Trevor Story could slide over, but if he doesn't, then you have two great guys up the middle. So it
yeah.
works out. But Dallas, do you have a take on this? You want to take a stab? No?
Definitely Trevor Story
Cool.
going to Boston.
I'm gonna say it's okay to say I don't know or I don't
No,
care.
I do
Dal, who's your favorite
No,
person named
yeah,
Trevor?
yeah.
none. I don't like any Trevors. They're
Fine.
all
Who's
the
your favorite
worst.
person named Carlos? Name 3 baseball players named Carlos. Go.
The
Carlos
12-year-old.
from the bench warmers.
Bingo.
Yeah.
The only one that
I,
matters.
I am
He is
12.
12, and that's verifiable via his birth certificate.
Yeah.
Documentation.
I'm 12.
I am 12.
Yes.
All right, so no, I do think there's a case be made for both you guys. Is that I like Correa's option out after each year. I like that. I think that gives him control if he wants to control where he goes. So, because again, even if he gets traded, he can opt out of wherever he gets traded and get a $300 million contract. So I like that idea for him and for future players all like that. But I like Trevor Story because he can be in the playoffs. We
Yeah.
forget the Red Sox were in the ALCS last year.
Yeah.
They were
But
they were close.
before they signed Story, they had made almost 0 moves of consequence. Now I know they were probably saving money for
I know,
Story,
but
but
Yeah,
once
but
but
they're bringing back most of the guys that got them to the playoffs.
no, I get that.
yeah,
I'm just saying.
I mean, that infield is going to be really good going forward with Bobby Dahlbeck, Roth at first, Story at second, Bogarts up the middle, and Devers at third.
yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
You got
no, it's all those moves really for the Red Sox, that infield, and I mean even the outfield outside of Jackie Bradley Jr. That lineup is top 5 in the league. And you know what? While we're actually in the AL East, let's actually stay there. So very quick, I'll say this: the Blue Jays acquired Matt Chapman via trade. They acquired or signed Kikuchi from the Mariners. The Yankees signed Rizzo back. They traded Voit. They traded Sanchez and Urshela for Josh Donaldson, Isaiah Connor Fluff, Falefa. Sorry, I'm messing it up. And a young catcher prospect who is, by the way, yoked.
Yeah, you see his biceps? It's
He is
absolutely.
gigantic.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like Dels. Let's just say that.
Well, okay. All
But he
right.
makes
I'm
Dallas
just
look
saying,
small.
Dallas is a good-looking guy. Dal, look up this dude's biceps. Google Ben Rortvetz's
He,
biceps and tell
He's
me if
He's
from
a
his
big
LA.
dude.
biceps look like that.
He's a big
I'm
dude.
just, I'm giving the audio listeners some idea of how
Ben
gigantic this man
Yeah,
is.
Dal. It's
Ben
RORT.
ROR. Oh, there you go.
Like
Yeah.
looking comparatively, when you like look at like different shots from last year's season, the dude's big as shit, and he also
Yeah.
looks like the kid from the other kid. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on his name. The outfielder from the Cardinals.
Tyler O'Neill.
Yeah,
O'Neal.
that dude. That
Is he a
dude's
catcher?
also just jacked.
Yeah, he is though. Tyler
Yeah.
O'Neill's dad is a professional bodybuilder. Though.
No, I
So
know
Yeah.
anybody
that
would
was
wanna-
getting that was like getting my. I was leaning into my point was like it's dudes nowadays are just coming in as monsters.
Well, you know what? As I didn't
What
mean for
big?
this to get into a bodybuilding avenue, but I'm gonna wrap it with and the Red Sox got Trevor Story and pretty much nothing else. And the Orioles got nothing because they're Baltimore. So it
They
kind of
Cedric Mullins.
fits.
He's good.
He's
I think
been
they'll
on
trade
the
him.
team.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
know, but
mean
I
they
think they'll
should.
trade him this year probably.
They should.
They still got
S-
Adley Rushman coming up. He
he's
should probably.
actually injured. He'll definitely be out for the next, I think, 2 or 3 weeks,
I know,
something
but
like that.
I'm saying he's projected to make his major league debut this year.
Yeah, I mean he's the number 2 prospect, so I hope
Right.
so.
He's a
So
pitcher too, which I love.
what
Go ahead.
when we think about the AL East, we picked winners for the AL East. But now considering with the Blue Jays making their moves, the Yankees and the Red Sox really making moves, the Rays and the Orioles did not. The first question I want to ask is, of those 3 major teams, the Blue Jays, Yankees, Red Sox, whose moves do you like the most? I can quickly say it. I think the Blue Jays moves are by far they make them, in my opinion, the favorite for the division. I know which will be hard, but I think those 2 moves alone sure up at
Put him
least
over the top.
an edge. Yeah, over the Rays like we talked about. So what do you guys think?
So
Dan,
I
what
think
do
we
you think?
all, yeah, go
Or
ahead.
Ben?
So go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
yeah,
No,
Ben,
I
you
was gonna
got it.
say, you know how I think we all picked the Blue Jays to win that division, right? Or maybe Dallas went contrarian just cause, but you didn't, Dan. Who did you go with?
I took the Yankees, and I was going to say I'm sticking by the Yankees.
Okay,
Hmm.
I was gonna say it's either like I just don't think Story's enough, so I'm good with going um, Blue Jays, Yankees, and then some mix of the Rays and Red Sox. But I saw on ESPN today they posted like all 4 of those teams have a 60% chance of making the playoffs, which I don't get how that works, but that's crazy. Um, that you could have 4 teams all in the playoffs from one division, and then the Orioles who might not win, 60 games. So yeah,
Well,
but
I
I'm still
don't.
going. I'm still going with the Jays.
Yeah, well, just to talk about that, I think only 3 teams can still make it because either way. Dan, what do you think? Whose moves do you like the most? So you
I think
like
I'm taking the
the
Yankees.
Yankees?
I'm sticking with stay with New York. I think they
Hmm.
upgraded at every position. You now have a healthy Anthony Rizzo for the full season going in,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
is a big upgrade from Luke Voigt. And I think Josh Donaldson, I'd like to say he's an upgrade over Gio Urshela. His bat is, but I think Urshela might have him defensively with his glove. But nonetheless, I stick it with the Yankees. I think they did enough to continue to keep, in my eyes, them as the number 1 team in the AL East.
And Severino's coming back. I saw he was pitching the other day. So
He pitched yesterday, I think, actually.
yeah,
Yeah, he didn't look bad. He looked pretty good. They still have Severino. They still
Cole.
they have Garrett Cole. Yeah, obviously they still have Corey Kluber.
Kluber. Klubes.
But
Nick Kluber.
I still think the Yankees did enough. Boston, I wish they would have been more active. I didn't like the fact that they traded Hunter Renfroe just from the offseason. Renfroe was last year at the offseason when they traded Renfroe to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I didn't like when Benintendi left. I know that's been a year or so now. I really liked Andrew Benintendi in Boston. But I do like the fact that they picked up Trevor Story at second. I like Bobby Dahlbeck. But I don't think they have enough to jump forward. I think Story is a good pickup, but not enough.
Mhm.
And I don't know really why Tampa. I guess it's Tampa's MO. They don't spend a ton of money.
So they'll have a
They
ton of
really
money to
more
spend.
develop. They more develop guys internally, which you're going to get to see another year of Wander Franco, Randy Rosarena. I love Kevin Kiermaier. I think he's one of the best defensive outfielders in baseball.
Yeah. So of those 4 teams, what's your ranking, Dan? You think the Yankees take it, but what?
I think it's the
besides them?
Yankees, Toronto, Boston. Yankees, Toronto, Tampa, Boston will kind of fight for third.
Hmm.
I don't really know who I have finishing third, but I think it's Yankees, Toronto. I think the Yankees are just going to be too good offensively.
Yeah, I mean that's it's definitely one way, and we'll talk about the Phillies in a second. But just like the Phillies, I think in some way the Yankees are gonna have to put up like 8 runs a game to win games, and I mean, yeah, they're good. I just don't see it. Like
Stanton and Judge
again,
don't stay healthy long enough to play out a full year ever. So
yeah,
you
true.
can't count on their bats for 162 games, right? Rizzo, he's great and I love him, but he's coming off injury, right? And there's a cat. So,
Doubt.
anything can happen, man. Anything can
She's
happen.
so loud. Come on,
What's
say
the
hello.
cat? Yeah, who does the cat think's going to win the NL East or the AL East?
Yeah.
AL East? None of your
Yeah.
business. She keeps it. She keeps it close to the chest.
All right, all right.
Wow. All right.
Take it easy, man. Take it easy. I got aggressive.
Easy, easy girl,
Easy,
easy.
fella.
She's going
You
with
know-
Boston.
Boston.
Yeah, that's right.
Baller pick. Okay.
She is.
Surprise.
I'm
Gutsy.
not. That's what
It's
she's
like, I'm not. I'm
Listen
not
to-
taking Boston. She's like Boston.
Listen to her.
Sounds like she's picked
That-
every World Series winner since 1903.
Since
She's a
now.
Cat's been,
bitch.
Cat's been alive for 2 years, but she goes back.
Yeah.
Hey man, I think she's pushing 3. Okay. That's
All
what
right.
she's.
Let's go from one East division, the AL East. Let's move to the NL East, and this may be one of the more interesting divisions now with all the moves that have taken place. So we know what the Mets have done. We know what the Braves did last year, but then they also signed Kenley Jansen. They signed traded and then extended Matt Olson. They re-signed playoff domination last year, Eddie Rosario, but they lost Freeman, which we can talk about later.
No,
The
we don't have to.
so the Phillies in that division, they signed Schwarber to a 4-year, $79 million, and then signed Nick Castellanos to a 5-year, $100 million deal.
I'm bitter.
And then the Marlins signed they signed Soler, which
Solar
I find
power, baby.
cool, but whatever. I'm better that Derek Jeter's not there and he's not gonna take that team farther because they signed and
Yeah.
I gotta stop. So
Getting heated. Brother's getting heated.
yeah. I'm very heated that they parted ways mutually, and then all of a sudden they only signed one free agent very late. Anyway, so yeah, I mean,
He's so mad.
it's horrible. I mean, for a team I don't care about, really.
You're pretty
I-
animated.
Yeah, I'm upset for them and for the fans.
I'm upset.
Great. So talk about the NL East again: Mets, Braves, Phillies, Marlins. Who am I missing?
Nationals.
Nationals. Well, they
Natty
signed
boys.
Nelson. Nationals signed Nelson Cruz. So
So
that's
what? It's like
something.
75 now.
Yeah, but
He's
still hitting
41.
bombs,
He's 41. He's probably gonna hit 35 home runs.
and he's not
okay?
going to have to play the field. He could just literally just bat 3 times a game.
I know.
Married. He doesn't play the field anyways.
That's why.
Wow, good joke though.
Thank
You
you.
got us all. You popped us all down.
Coming
So-
from the one who's not married in this podcast.
May
Not
13th.
yet.
May
Not yet.
13th.
May 13th.
That's like okay. We'll talk about this later. But
Yeah. Announcement. So, again, looking at the NL East, whose moves do you like the most? Who do you think's coming out of the NL East?
Braves. Braves.
got
I
the
still. I
Braves.
think. I think I picked the Braves to begin with, didn't I? I
Yeah.
don't remember. I made my
I think
own
we all
picks and
did. I
don't
think it was
remember.
a clean split. I think the Braves were a clean sweep.
Also, did
No,
you know that McNeil didn't even know the Mets had Scherzer until like a week ago? So
I
that's
don't.
sick.
He's dumb.
wow.
But
Okay.
no. So I'm gonna go with the Braves, man. They've shored up the bullpen. Rosario's nice as a little off. Now he's not gonna do what he did in the playoffs. I mean, if he does, lock him up for the MVP right now.
Yeah.
But no, he'll come back down to earth. But I still think he's a decent enough ball player. And then Matt Olson, dude, he's what
He's
I
a
mean.
very
He's
good
just
replacement for Freeman.
yeah. If you were gonna replace him with anybody, might as well be
Another
somebody who's
lefty
pretty
bopper.
decent. Yeah. I mean, totally different game. Like Matt Olson's decent defensively,
Does
but
Matt Olson have a Gold Glove?
I think he does. Yeah. But I'm saying like
Yeah.
he bops. You know what I mean? He's gonna hit home runs. So
Yeah.
I'm still rocking with the Braves.
Okay.
I also
It-
like the Braves, but I think the Phillies are going to make a good push, man.
Yeah,
They picked up both. They picked up both of the.
I'm being serious. Like that's my actual opinion. I think the Phillies got a good chance.
The Phillies picked up both outfielders that I really had personal
That's-
bias in hoping the White Sox wanted to make a run at.
Warburg.
Yeah, I kind of felt for you when they signed.
Yeah, both
I
of them
didn't.
went to
Not even a little
Philly.
bit.
I was
course
so
you did.
happy.
Shut up. I think the Phillies just have a good enough team going forward. You still got Realmuto. You got Reese Hoskins. Obviously Bryce Harper. And now you add
Alec Bowen.
Schwarber and Castellanos to that team.
Jake
The
and I were
pitching
just talking
staff
about
is-
the Phillies on Saturday.
Yeah, the pitching
Yeah.
staff is still really good with Aaron Nola as your ace. I think he's kind of underrated.
I also don't think he's an ace.
I think he's underrated.
I think he would be a good 2 or 3 on any other team. He's an ace by default, not an ace by talent.
I disagree, but
That's
It's
cold.
fine. Well,
Then.
you're wrong, and that's fine.
can't prove that.
Until he's not very good this year. But
You know, Dan. Actually, you picked the Mets to win, so he's
Howard?
changing.
Yeah, they don't.
Dan, what is this?
I mean, I'll say this: I'm sticking with the Mets.
Flip flop, baby.
So-
You're a flip flopper.
Flip.
Jake's rocking with the mix. So
I mean, I didn't make my decision yet. But go ahead, Jake. Go ahead.
You made your pick a while ago. Okay.
As the
Long
Mets,
while ago.
I know,
didn't think I
so-
was flip flopping.
Okay. So you got their Braves now.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
But
What
why
would
the
you
take,
taking, bro?
I'll take the Braves.
Oh my gosh! Get
Wow.
get the hell out of here.
flip flopper. Flip flop.
This mug.
I'm up chonkle you in the head. Shut up.
All right. So you know what?
Chanclas.
I wanna get to this, 2 other topics. I know Dan was very crushed with Kyle Schwarber and Nick Castellanos not going to the White Sox because again he's a fan. Ben, Dallas, and I are Cubs fans, and these 2 next topics
cares?
are going to I'm gonna meet you. Okay. So these 2 next topics are Cubs related. First thing I want to ask you, Ben, genuinely, when I saw this news, I was so confused and mad, and I still am. Chris Bryant going to the Rockies. Just explain that. 7 years, 182 mil. Explain that deal for him.
So it makes sense, right? I think I texted about it. Okay, so here's my logic, right? He's got an MVP, a Rookie of the Year, and a World Series title. He's done everything you can do as a baseball player. He's got Gold Glove, Silver Slugger, all that kind of stuff. He might not have a Gold Glove because he plays a lot of positions, but you know what I mean. He's good enough defensively. He's done everything an individual player can do, except pad the stats. So go to Colorado, make a ton of money. Colorado's beautiful. I love it there. It's fantastic. Dallas, I know, has been there. Jake, you've been there. It's beautiful.
Yep.
So go
Yep.
hang out in Colorado for a couple years. I mean, realistically, the Rockies might trade him. They could trade him, right? I'm sure he has some sort of no trade clause, of course, but
He has a full no trade clause, but
well,
that
okay. So
could
there you go.
decide where he goes.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm saying. Like he's already done the individual stuff, so you might as well just pad the stats, get paid. That was my logic on it. Like, and he's never been the kind of guy that seems like he wants all the attention, the super like that kind of mode. I mean, he had it because he was in Chicago, and that was just that just kind of uh comes with the city. But yeah, dude, he's done everything you can do. Why not go out and get paid and enjoy playing baseball? That was my logic behind it.
Enjoy balling.
I mean, I still don't like it. That's all. Yeah. So Dallas, again, as a Cubs fan, are you happy Chris Bryant got that bag, got that money, or would you want to see Chris Bryant in the playoffs? Because he won't be there in the Rockies uniform.
Not
Are
in
you
that
happy
division,
he
no.
got the? Are you happy he got the money, or do you wish he was going to be in the postseason? What do you think?
Honestly, do you, baby, make that money? Like, I'm cool. Like, I mean, if I want to see the Cubs in the postseason, even though that's unlikely, I don't want to see them playing Bryant. So yeah, stay in Colorado. That sounds cool.
I just want to.
Have you guys ever, next time you guys, anybody that's listening or you guys, if you ever have AirPods or whatever iPods in and like Siri is reading your text messages to you, make sure somebody sends you a ha 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 ha, because when she tries to pronounce it, she goes ha 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 ha, and she just sounds absolutely dumb. It's hilarious. I love it.
Deal.
Wow. Pro tip. Thank you.
Learn something new every day.
Right.
And the next Cups related news about this is we talked about this player episode 3 coming
Yes,
from
did.
Japan. Seiya Suzuki signed
Let's go.
to the Cubs. Signed to the
So,
Cubs,
yeah.
5 years, $85 million.
That was big shocker.
Don't be mad, Dan. Don't be mad.
Dan, you said you were
I'm not
shocked.
mad.
Why are you shocked?
Yeah. I didn't realize the Cubs were actually that much in the mix. All the reports that came out was saying
picked Mariners, right?
Yeah, you didn't.
So did you?
Pick
You
Cubs?
picked the
You picked what?
Not the Padres.
Giants.
The Giants.
Yeah. Okay. So every report prior to the actual signing said he was leaning West Coast, Seattle, Giants, Padres, Dodgers, somewhere along that
California.
West Coast side.
Our beliefs, but that was way wrong.
But everything that I had saw, Jake, you had read, had this guy going West Coast.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, that the Cubs were that high in a mix for it. Was my biggest shocker. Good for them. I mean, it's not past the Cubs to make a big international signing like that. It's not the first time. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not the first time the Cubs have done it. So honestly, good for them. If the guy thinks he's got a chance to win, he wants to come play, and he plays for Chicago, good for him. Play. I just didn't realize that the Cubs were that high, I guess, in a mix. I legitimately thought it was more just strictly West Coast team that he was going for.
Dude, the Cubs are going to win 97 games this year.
You're an idiot.
Yeah,
you're an idiot. You're
Book
an
it.
idiot.
Gal, tell him.
Ben, stop it.
I wouldn't stop at 97.
97.
Maybe 79.
Nah, bro.
Maybe.
You're going to be surprised.
Plus 90, Dan. Including postseason.
Cubs will lose the
and
first 16
spring
games
training
of the
this year and
then
next
not
year.
again the rest of the season.
Hey, how many games is this season going to be?
162.
I think.
Yeah.
They're keeping a full length?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think part of them trying to get the deal done so that spring training could happen is because they didn't want to miss games.
Fantabuloso.
Yeah, and again, as I saw that news go by, so I said, as I saw Chris Bryant news go by, I was very confused and kind of upset that he would sign with a non-contender, and then Sia, who's going to a non-contender pretty much right this year, and I was so happy. So I guess that's some bias in there. I don't know. I don't care either way. I mean, 75 years, 85 mil. I mean, that's not terrible. And granted, we never seen him in this country, but apparently the Cubs thought he was worth it. So I'll take it.
Capitalize, yeah. If he's willing to come play here, why not?
And did anyone see his press conference?
Yes, where he talked about wearing 27.
Yeah, Dan, why don't
Yeah.
you tell that story?
He was asked why he picked number 27, and he just immediately took the mic from the translator. It says, "Because Mike Trout, I love you." I thought it was fantastic.
I mean, he's already a favorite in some people, but also, I mean, that's a good way to make people in baseball love you, to say you love the best player or one
and
of
have
the
a personality. That helps. Personality, man.
Right.
Yeah, he did it very, very smooth and very it was actually funny to watch him.
Dude, Hessu thinks he's a good-looking guy too. Like, I asked my wife; she thinks he's a good-looking guy. I think he could take Chicago by storm, man. If he's personable, right? Like he shows he's charismatic and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a significant Asian population in Chicago. I mean, there's no reason why this guy shouldn't blow up. Huge. And then the fact that he's playing for a top 5 team in baseball history, that helps.
Ooh, it's a big statement.
Or, I mean, I just mean like popularity, everything else. You can't say. I mean, there's
just say it, Daniel. Top one.
Top one. Yeah, 97 wins.
Second, Dan. 97 wins, and they're the best team. Okay, get over it.
You heard it. You heard it here first.
Especially in the city of Chicago, Cubs are easily the only.
There's like a double-A team that plays on the south side.
What are they called?
I think I've heard of them.
They're the reigning NL or AL.
The NL, cool. Are they the Kane County Cougars? That's pretty sick. The Joliet Jackhammers.
The Chicago
Corn
Hot
Belters.
Dogs.
Shout out Normal. Yes, there you go. Shout out Corn Belters.
Yeah, so again, the
Corn.
Cubs and the White Sox made moves this offseason. And I think we'll probably see some more White Sox games, but it'd be interesting to watch Seiya Suzuki take some at-bats, hopefully play some outfield, left field, right field. I'm not sure exactly, but I want to go to a game just because of him.
Absolutely.
Bring him in, so it'd be fun. You know what? We talked about this in the intro, but let's actually go to the second base topic, which again is about spring training. So spring training has begun officially. It started after our episode came out. So we talked about this a bit, but what do you guys think of spring training games? Are they at all fun to watch it on TV, or do you think you have to be there in person?
So I've been to a couple spring training games in person.
Okay.
I went to a Diamondbacks Mariners spring training game in Scottsdale, where I was living at the time, and that was really cool because you could bring a blanket and put it in the outfield, and then just sit and watch the game and kind of do that kind of stuff. So that was pretty cool. And then my wife and I went to Cubs and Angels 2 years ago, spring training, and that was a lot of fun. I don't mind watching spring training. Okay, I should say this. I didn't mind watching spring training before there was more information readily available on minor leaguers and different stuff like that. I used to be very excited to see who the Cubs were bringing up, who the Sox were bringing up, who are these prospects or these young guys and different stuff like that. That you're going to see for the first time that might make an impact later. But now, I mean, you're hearing about 17-year-old kids the moment they're, in high school and these super prospects. It's just like more information, so it seems less of a draw for me personally to watch spring training games than it used to be. But I don't mind like the emptiness and the aesthetic and the sound. I kind of like that, so that doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, the empty field. I mean, we saw it in the in 2020 with that pandemic season, but it is a little weird to watch on TV. I'll say that. Dan, what do you think? Do you think it's more of a in person or
All baseball is in person. Like me being me, I can sit down and watch anybody on TV. Like, and I will do it. I can sit and watch whoever's playing on the ESPN game, whatever game is being broadcast on MLB Network. If the Sox are off and the Cubs are on, like, I don't care. I'll watch baseball. I love baseball, but for the average and people, baseball's an in-person game. It's an in-person feeling, atmosphere, way more than it is at watching it at your home. Spring training games aren't really made. They're not meant for us. They're not meant for the fan as far as like oh cool, I get to watch this guy play. It's not. Spring training games aren't meant for fans. They're meant for the coach and the scouts and the decision makers to watch these guys play in live games, in live situations, when they make the decisions on who's getting placed and sent down to high A, double A, triple A, stuff like that. That's what these guys are fighting. That's what these guys are fighting for, is roster spots.
Just trying to spice it up, Jake. Just trying to spice it up.
Roster spots in places. So I don't mind watching games. I don't mind the fact that spring training games are broadcast and there's nobody there. Like, that doesn't matter to me. That's not. I'll watch it anyways. But because I take into the consideration, like I said, that spring training games aren't made for the fan to sit and watch. You're not going to a game to be awed and wowed by the antics of, like, everything that's going on. So
Dels, have you watched any games so far, or any innings?
Closest I was today.
Almost watching a game today.
But I would actually disagree with what Dan was saying. I think that was the case, that spring training wasn't for audiences, but I really feel like they've they really invested in spring training, and like there's new parks. There's I really think that they're trying to tailor it to not like snowbirds, like the folks that are up north and travel down south for the winter.
Old people.
Right, but like
snowbirds,
actually, like there's a lot of young folks going to like spring training games nowadays, and like they're
like a free bird.
80s doo-wop Billy Joel sucks. So
it's not
we were. I really think that they've done a great job marketing their spring training like part of the season. I think that the owners have done a really good job of that. Like, they've really worked their players and like worked the system, and like they have capitalized. So in that regard, like I think it's become more of like a tourist attraction, spring training. But for like people that actually care, like, to agree with Dan, on the other hand, I would agree, like it is mostly important for the coaches and the players, obviously, and like the scouts and stuff. But like maybe someone like Dan or Ben, like they would have it on just because it's baseball, or you, Jake. But like,
all right,
for the casual fan, spring training really it's just something to go see. But like, you're not going to have it on the TV.
A beautiful day in the sun.
Yeah.
Right. No, that was my main point, was that it's not made for it's not made as a. Yes, it's become more spectator friendly.
Right.
But they're also doing that because other teams play there year round. There's teams that play, like the Sox play at Camelback Ranch. There's teams that play there as their home games. So that's why they spend money and they build these parks up. They do things because there are people that go see regular season minor league baseball games at these parks.
Yeah,
but as far as
you get a lot of travelers going for spring training.
100%.
Yeah,
that's why
like
that's why they're in cities and towns that have climate weather that's like that, so that it is a tourist attraction. But my point was that it's not really designed around like fans. It's become more fan friendly. 100% agree.
The purpose of spring training, of course, but it's become. All I'm saying is, I was just saying that it's become more of a, like, I don't know, it's just a spectacle.
Like a thing to do.
Yeah, they did a great job advertising spring training, and now it's like it is something that, like, even just Ben and I, maybe a couple before I started school, we're talking of just taking a trip to Arizona simply for spring training. Like,
Yes.
and I doubt that happened maybe 15 years ago. Like, people weren't like, oh yeah, let's go to spring training. It's like, dude, nobody cared about spring training unless you were in the area for spring training.
Dude, nobody cares.
I guess I'll go for like $5, sure, but like
No, we call that a White Sox game. You can go for $5.
Nah, man,
Oh,
they actually give you free beer to go. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Buy one ticket, get 4 free.
That sounds. They would
Pretty dope. But they
I-
still had empty ballparks. They had 5,000 people.
Who's winning the match? Christ, Derek.
yeah.
But yeah, no. State. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I would definitely travel to go to spring training nowadays, though. 100%.
Yeah, mute me, Jake, but I gotta listen to this.
All right,
Just
hold
cut his
on.
video. Cut his video.
I'm gonna kick him off. Hold on. All right, good. You're good. All right, so yeah, I mean, spring training. To be honest, I think it's like it's almost like the appetizer, like for fans and hardcore fans and for casual fans. I do believe spring training is just like making you aware that the real meal is coming at a certain point later. Like, don't worry, this will get better, but it is here. And the fact that it's on TV, I think is for just awareness. And I think for in person, they are making it more fan friendly, but it is mainly for coaches and staff. But for on TV, it's simply just to prep you. Well,
It's money,
to make
money.
Yeah,
The reason that they started putting them on is so you can start selling ad space during them.
I mean, that's true, but also, I mean, if the fact that if baseball just started without a spring training, people might even miss it. The idea that there is something that gets you ready for it, I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, it's the idea of spring training games in football or preseason games in football, right? Like it's important for the guys like number 45 through 53 on your roster, right? That like 8 guys who may or may not make it. But realistically, you're selling. I mean, the NFL is making money hand over fist, so you're just selling advertisements and getting people to watch. And you know people are going to watch football regardless. But people may not. I mean, as it's been shown, people don't really watch baseball in the numbers like they used to.
Less.
So I think spring training can only help. I don't see how it could be a bad thing if your purpose is to make money, which everybody's purpose is always to make money. So,
right.
I mean that's
not my
why
purpose.
That's why it's on there. What it should be. We should all make money.
That's why I play spring training.
I know
That's why we're in America. Okay,
America.
Make that money. You know what? Let's actually transition from something that a lot of people are not at. I see a lot of empty seats, but let's actually transition to our trivia game, which is a lot closer of a contest because of there have been times where not all 4 of us have been able to make it. We've only had 3 rounds so far, but Ben, why don't you kick off our 4th and final round? Just to recap, I am winning with 9 correct answers. Dan and Dennis have
cheated.
7. Yeah.
I was gonna say both of you get off Google. I don't trust either. I think we can all hands down agree. I am probably the
Dallas
biggest
is probably
whiz.
Googling.
I know all of the answers in here and down here.
Okay.
Dude, it's the cat. The cat's the one that's giving him the answers. Cat's been alive since
Benny,
1903.
Okay.
don't.
All right. So Ben, why don't you kick us off for our final round?
All right, question number 1. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Of course you are. Who was the first player to reach 4,000 career hits? Stan Musial, Hank Aaron, Pete Rose, Ty Cobb. Dallas.
You're welcome, everyone, for going first all the time. I'm gonna go with Hank Aaron.
Okay, that's not right. Jake?
I'll just say Ty Cobb.
Yes.
It is Ty Cobb, correct.
Good guess, Jake. Put your phone down.
He's old.
All right, true or
Right.
false? Well, okay,
Put it
so
away.
we'll skip this one because it's a true or false.
No, just let us guess true or false before the question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bonus points.
All right. In 1998, David Wells of the New York Yankees pitched a perfect game. Who was he pitching against? The Orioles, the Twins, the Blue Jays, or the Cleveland baseball team? Dallas.
Orioles.
That is not correct. Jake.
Twins?
It is the Twins. Jake's on fire. Jake
No,
is
he's
on
heating up.
fire.
All right.
He's heating up.
Can't just skip that part.
All right. What team won the first World Series in 1903? Dallas, get your cat. Is it the Boston Americans, the Cleveland Naps, the Pittsburgh Pirates, or the Chicago White Stockings? Jake, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
I have no idea. White stockings.
Incorrect.
See?
Ooh.
Daniel.
With the Pirates?
It is not.
Hey,
Dallas.
100%.
It is the Boston Americans. That is correct.
Gang,
Wow.
Put my boy down for a point.
Gang.
There you
Yeah,
go.
you Googled it.
Question
Nah, I asked
4.
the cat.
Cal Ripken Jr. holds the record for most consecutive games played at 2,632. What year was that streak broken? 1996, 1997, 1998, 1999. Jake.
7.
Incorrect. Dallas, I saw your hand go up.
8.
It is 1998. Dallas on the board with 2 points.
Whatever.
Dan, you're fading down the stretch here, big fella. I need you to step it up. What player was the first ever Rookie of the Year? Alvin Dark, Roy Sievers, Walt Dropo, or Jackie Robinson? Dallas.
B.
Roy Sievers?
It's the guy.
It's incorrect. Jake?
Jackie.
It is Jackie Robinson. Jake's back in the lead with 3
Dang.
points.
What?
Come
All
on,
right, so we're gonna go 10 questions because I don't have Marvel questions because they took the website down. So, which of these positions did Babe Ruth play other than outfield? Catcher, shortstop, third base, pitcher. Go. Dallas.
Can you just
What?
pitch it?
Yeah, I knew. I mean, there was only one answer.
That's what I was
Everybody
like.
knew it.
Right, my hand was also up like 10 minutes before Dallas's.
Nah.
Well, you. So, all
I
right,
called
so
him.
3-3, Jake and Dallas. Who finished with more career hits? Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, or Willie Mays? Jake.
Willie.
Incorrect.
Dang.
Daniel.
Alex Rodriguez.
Incorrect. Dallas.
Wow.
Shit. That's what I was going to say. So I guess Jeter.
No.
It's
No.
Derek Jeter. It's correct.
No way.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm not lying.
I was going to say A-Rod, too.
You guys
I don't
can't
believe
say
it.
that, but
Yep.
it's
Your phone
It's
is
there.
wrong. Okay.
the internet's
No
wrong.
way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Dallas has
I'm-
4. Jake
Oh, you're
has
going to get off the
3,
internet? That
Dan
has to be
has-
true.
0.
Yeah. Exactly.
The Toronto Blue Jays joined the Major League Baseball in 1997. I'm sorry, 1977. What other franchise joined that same year? The Rockies, the Marlins, the Mariners, or the Rays?
Nah, Dan's hand was up first. Let him go.
Daniel?
Mariners.
It is the Mariners. Dan's on the board.
Dan's got it.
Heyo, heyo.
Cy Young holds the record for most career wins. How many? 501, 505, 511, or 515? Dallas.
5'11".
Fuck.
Correct.
I knew that answer.
Boom.
Whatever.
Is that 541?
Sure.
Yes.
You
Yes.
tell us. You're the scorekeeper.
Dude,
Benny, this is your
Suck
world.
it.
We're just playing.
All right. So
I
Dallas.
mean, by
yeah.
541 would be 10 questions. Did you read 10
Yeah.
questions then?
yes, I did. Yeah, that was it.
Yes, I did. Correct.
And the winner after 4 rounds is
Me.
Dun, 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 dun.
Jake still pulls it out.
Damn.
Congratulations. Round of applause.
so yeah.
Where are you
Dan,
located? Are you in Florida? Do we need to fucking recount these ballots? Because I don't believe you.
Dude, you
pretty
remember
sure
the
you're
Florida
wrong.
recounting
He's
ballot?
2 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, we're going to
It's not
recount the
fair.
ballots. Jake's in
Justin
This
Florida.
is
Florida?
not.
Jake's in Florida. We're going to recount the ballots.
Unbelievable. You went back in time 20 years and ignored everything that happened in the last two. Whatever.
Yeah, let's
Anyways, Jake,
not
go
go
ahead.
there. So, that kind of wrapped up the game. So I'll post on our Instagram.
How much of a
Very
winner I am.
anticlimactic.
I'll post on Instagram that I won. Okay, 'cause it's a big deal.
No big
This
deal.
against this game being
But-
played in protest.
Eat shit, all of you.
And as my wife would tell you, I'm a much worse winner than I am loser. So I'm posting that everywhere. Okay?
Jacob, as the three of us know, we also know that to be true. Of course, and the people who have known you your
Jake's
entire
gonna-
existence.
He's actually going to snail mail all of us confetti. And it's just going to explode when we open the package.
Including Dan, and it's going to create a
I mean, I wouldn't
big
be,
international incident.
And
I
Dan's
wouldn't be
going
mad
to
about
shoot
it.
himself.
I wouldn't be mad about it. I would get it, but I'd be like, all right, I'll allow it.
And you'll get it.
Right.
Dude, it'll take 3 to 5 business days to get there. You'll be all right. Send us Carol
Yeah.
stream.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's
Not
fine.
like-
Wow,
still got
why
like-
don't you dox him, Dell? Why don't you give out his home address and his social security number while you're at it?
8271.
7, few, 3, 4.
I
Batman
have a
symbol.
Q in mind.
Another, another
That's
Batman
weird.
symbol.
Oh gosh, here we go.
1 through 9.
And before Ben outs himself as Q, which is a different topic, let's actually end our trivia game. But let's hit home plate. And Dan, you're gonna go first. But Dan, we're not gonna do the typical Chicago sports teams take of the week. But Dan, why don't you start us off with something? You have to say something for the podcast.
Yeah, this will be my last time on the podcast for at least probably close to a year. Most who listen probably know or don't know. I am in the Army Reserves, and my unit is getting deployed, so I will be leaving for upwards of a year. So this will be my last recording. It's been a lot of fun to be a part of this, and as soon as I get home, we'll jump back on. Maybe I'll get to do a couple of spot cameos or something. You know, during the baseball season, I'll get to try to watch as much as I can. Where I'm going, we'll see. See how everything goes. You know, so yeah, so this will be my last. For now, this will be my last recording. It's been a lot of fun. Love you guys. And I hope everyone listening enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed kind of the daily banter that we go through to put this all together. So that's all I got.
We love you too, Dan.
Yeah, I'm indifferent.
Wow.
Ew.
When I said confetti in the box, Jake's obviously sending poo.
Dude, you know
I
that's
mean,
a thing?
Duh.
You can send caca to people in the mail.
You can also send farts and pay someone for it. It's disgusting.
What?
Who came up with
What?
that?
What
this
is
world we live in?
happening?
Sorry,
I'm
there
going
was
that-
supposed to
I'm
be a
going
nice
down rabbit
moment.
hole.
There was
I
supposed
am
to be a
going
nice
to
moment
fart
where
in
you
a
hijacked
jar
it.
Yeah,
and
Alright, so-
send it to you.
Let
yeah,
me
crazy.
let me
People pay for that.
let me just break this down. So Dan just shared something, and then all of a sudden we're talking about crap and farts. Okay.
That's
In
literally
jars, though.
that's the way that we are. I would expect nothing
Rolls,
less.
baby.
Very true.
We didn't start talking
You know-
about Dan's after ice cream farts. Now that's something we could get in.
Dallas, you have no room to talk about farts.
Yes.
I haven't
Okay.
had ice cream since '97. Okay,
I haven't
That's
had
a
a
stone
car
cold
nice.
lie.
since 2004.
That is a stone cold lie.
see these babies?
You wanna
Lathered
taste
up
the
with
shit?
heels.
You want to touch these bad boys?
No.
You know what?
Nope.
Each of us. So again, Dan just shared that he won't be on for the next year or so, and then kind of to shift it from this immediate, let's turn the emotional tide to laughing. I'm actually going to just share something because I want to, end it with this or keep going with this. So, Dan, as we grew up, with the four of us, it was always you and me versus Ben and Dallas. And that was because you're the oldest, I'm the youngest, and they're obviously in the middle.
Yep.
And with us being on opposite sides, we always were on the same team. So it was always 2-on-2. The one thing I want to say is that when we were always teamed up, to be honest and to be vulnerable, to be honest, I really do miss the times that we had even at that park that we lived down the street from when
Mhm.
we played baseball. You're 4 years older than me, and I remember one of the first moments I knew I wanted to be a catcher, and we laugh about this because kind of becomes infamous. But you throwing your knuckleball,
Mm.
the idea that I could catch something that was again at the time 4 years younger that moved so much, I thought if I could catch this, maybe I could be a catcher later on. So I always loved the fact that it was us two, and I really always appreciated it. And honestly, I got the best of all of us. So I want to say thank you for that.
Yeah, let's also
Nick-
not
Yes,
say
that's a
Dan's
slam on you.
knuckleball had like movement like it was in a tornado.
Hey,
All right, let's
hey,
calm.
He's
Hey.
not Tim Wakefield over here.
I'm not saying it was that. But as a kid,
You're
it
painting a
looked like it.
picture.
You know
these
what?
listeners.
You're
It's-
lying
it-
to your audience, dude.
It fluttered.
I'm not.
It fluttered. Okay.
It
Dan
moved.
threw something
It
that we like
caused-
to call the shit ball, the dookie ball,
It
and
caused
that's why nobody
it-
hit it.
it caused a lot of swings and misses.
See,
It's nothing like a Jim Mohawk curveball though, right though.
Look, first off, that thing you can't escape that to save your life or
The
your
heat
job.
seeker, the heat seeker.
I appreciate that, Jake. I really do. It was good being paired up with you. I felt like everything we did was always fair. You know, me and Jake, Dallas, and
It
Ben.
wasn't
I was
because
the worst.
we
You're right,
always
'cause you-
beat you guys. So
You guys
it
never
wasn't
beat
fair.
us. You guys
We
were
always won.
You were
Insane,
caca.
yeah.
You were
We-
poop. You were
Wow.
poop.
Just,
You were
just,
poop.
just
You know what?
It's
It
okay.
sounds so much worse.
But
when
it
you call
was
us
cool.
poop. Just
It was
call us
cool.
shit.
yeah.
It
Just
was
saying.
cool growing up and being a catcher myself for so many years, like of every year in my life that I can remember playing baseball. I was a catcher, and then seeing my youngest cousin also come through and play well at the same position. It was cool to see. So I appreciate it, Jake. And absolutely, man, I miss all of it. It'd be cool to go back to see like even the old park and mess around again and do some stuff. But I appreciate that.
Well, also, you lied to the audience by saying I played well. Okay, I only played well for like a couple years. Okay, so let's not. I was
That's not
not
a lie.
on any radar.
I didn't say you played well for like 35 years. You played well.
Mm, okay. I don't
Caught a
know.
lot of national attention. Got
Look,
hooked
Yeah.
on coke.
By
to stop
national, I
playing.
mean inside my own head.
yeah.
He had scouts.
In my head.
More so your dad, because he had to
Yeah,
draft
true.
you every year.
Yeah.
And
No, that's cool.
and to give all of us at least a second to or an option to do it, Dallas, I'm gonna say you have to say something because if you said no, that might make you a dick. But would you like to say something for Dan's last
You know,
episode?
you can say no.
You know what? I would
No.
prefer if you didn't say anything.
I
Just shut
think
up.
I have a
Answer's like, I
constitutional right
didn't
to
really
plead the
enjoy our
fifth.
vibe. So
No, it was yes. If we're gonna get sentimental right now, I can do this. Bear with
Yeah.
me.
Do it.
Growing up with Dan was like growing up with with an older brother because I'm the eldest of the three of us. So it was really cool getting to grow up with Dan, getting to see him like make the way for us, and I wore all of his handy down clothes. So it was like I got to do stuff that Dan did, and then sometimes dress like him. Did I wear his shoes and his heels sometimes in the closet? Yeah, sure. Why not? It
Hey,
made me
shoe
feel
fits,
pretty.
man.
But
I
no,
fit the
it was
team.
great. It was nice having somebody to look up to, and count on. I had this one guy, and this is not sports related, but there was a dude that picked on me on the bus, and I was a little heavier. But Dan stood up for me, and
What was this? I don't remember the story.
yeah, it was a
Tell
long
me.
time ago, man.
Was.
Dude, names.
No,
Dude, first and last name. I want to hear.
this kid was
Put
he
their
was just
stuff out there.
out of like
First and last.
for no reason, for no good reason. This kid was just a dick to me, and Dan actually he stood up to him for me, and
Dan,
like
what did you say, Dan? Do you remember this?
I
don't
don't.
remember.
I really wish I did. I don't though.
Long
I
time
mean,
ago.
I don't doubt Dallas, but like, I don't recall it.
Yeah. So it was just it was nice. It was like Dan's been my older brother. So I'm gonna miss him, and I'll think about him often. And
I meant to say this at the beginning. Dan's not dead.
when he passes, I'll pull one out.
I am
Into
still
that
here.
great beyond.
I am still here. All I ask is you throw up a God bless amen every once in a while for me.
R.I.P.
You know,
I'm pouring out
R.I.P.
that
in
old-
peace,
dirty
brother.
give me
E's
that old
for you.
Sammy. That old Sammy.
I don't know about any,
Hard
I'm
chest, hard
popping
chest.
some Cobras. That's what I'll do for the animal.
You know
Maybe
what?
some Bacardi 03s.
OG
Hey, we're
Four
having
Locos.
a party. We're having a little going away shindig for Dan. So
Let's not give the address, Ben.
no, but we can definitely make Cobras happen.
Oh, dude, we're gonna play Edward 40 Hands
Yeah. If one of us doesn't
with
die,
our mouths.
it didn't work. So I'll make my ridiculous statement short. Dan and I are brothers, so I actually do know what it's like to have an identity.
And it was amazing.
Wow.
Bird.
Yeah.
Bird.
So not to undercut you lying sack of shit. No. So I have very specific memories of, because Dan and I, the story's been told a million times. What our childhood was like. It was hectic. It was crazy. Basically, by the time Dan was 13, 14, and I was like 11, our life got kind of flipped and turned upside down, and Dan was forced to take on a larger role within the family dynamic, right? He essentially became like a father figure who was, still going through puberty. It was weird, but it was fine. And so Dan and I butted heads a lot through that because then I started turning into a teenager, and you
No
guys
way.
remember I was not the easiest person to get along with. So yeah. So so then eventually, our Dan and my lives kind of drifted apart for a while, and thankfully we have rekindled our relationship. When he asked me to be the best man in his wedding, I thought that was a unexpected but nice thing for him to do. And then I think he and I have put in a lot of work and time in bettering our relationship, and I think he and I can both agree that there's still a lot of work that we both want to do to make it better. But yeah, I mean, I'm not like nervous or scared for you at all because I know you're safe and I know you're smart and I know you're going to be fine. And it's also a decision that you made to do, right? Like, so this is the job and the career that you chose, so that's what you got to do. But obviously we'll all miss you, and we'll check in on the kids and Katie and everybody, and it'll be fine. It'll be good. And I love you, and that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Everything Ben said is pretty much true and true, man. We're a lot better off now as adults than we were as children growing up, and I appreciate everything all three of you had to say. I love you guys all very much. Our childhoods were amazing and great, and as adults, it's been great to see all three of you grow into your own all truly individual lives and individual people. Two of you are married, one of you is engaged and getting married here shortly.
Jake, congrats.
It's been amazing, honestly, for me to see because I still look at you guys and like I still see like kids, different things you do and say, and I still think of like part of our childhood growing up, and I still picture you guys as like my younger brother, my little brother, my kid brother, my little cousins. But then like you actually have to take a step back and realize that you guys aren't really anymore. You guys are adults with lives and children and wives and fiancés and things like that, and it's awesome to see. It's awesome to have been a part of it, and yeah, I love y'all.
And again, to reiterate Jake's point, Dan's not dying. This sounds so
I'm
morbid.
not dying. It does.
Like, okay.
It just sounds very, it does sound.
No, but it's coming
come
from
off
such a
that
place
way.
of love. Yeah, it's
But yes, no, I'm
you
not
aren't leaving
dying.
tomorrow.
I'm just,
We're all going to see you again before you leave.
21
This
days.
is, a goodbye to the podcast people. And
21 days.
So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I should have prefaced this is like Dan's not dead, okay, or dying, okay. So, but I made that
just some
mistake.
shit's gonna happen, and I'm not gonna be around for a while.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll hear from you.
The way Dan just said that, it's like, I wonder if Jesus was like, guys, some shit's gonna happen. I'll be back in like a couple days. Just don't freak out.
I know it's gonna look a little weird.
Gonna be weird.
You gotta trust me.
Just have a little faith.
Just gotta have faith.
And that's probably the only actual sentimental thing we've done on the podcast so far. So why don't we end it on that good note? Again, Dan's not dying.
No, not dying.
That's a good note.
If he keeps talking that shit, I might catch up to him. I might catch up to him before 21 days, baby.
You ain't gonna do shit.
Dude, we're gonna send you jarred farts for your entire deployment.
Only this
I hope you do, because I will make sure everyone else opens it prior to.
No, dude. Except I'm also gonna send them to your house and hide them throughout. You're like, Kitty, what was in this jar?
I'm also going to be very surprised if we're able to send jars over to where you're going, and it's just going to be cool. Like they're going to look at it. If we
label them,
yeah,
they'll get it.
Just
like,
put masking tape and just say fart
masking
right
tape
on it.
and permanent marker. Just write
Ben's
jar
morning fart.
They're going to think it's like mustard gas or something terrible. It would not make it through security on the airport. That's all.
Dallas ate ice cream.
So again, I tried to end it on a good note. Let's end it there. Okay. So this is going to wrap up episode 12 of the On a Family Based podcast. Again, my name is Jake.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Dallas.
And I'm
Matt Damon.
Wow, and you ruined it again.
What ending ever goes smooth with us? All right. It's all right. That's how it ends. So we'll be on.
Bye.
What? Not yet, Ben. Okay, I have something else. Okay.
All right.
So I want you guys to check us out on Instagram or Twitter. The handle is Family Bases Pod. Family Bases like baseball bases pod. Check us out. We make sure to update all this kind of stuff. And in the future, young kids, we'll be posting TikToks. Okay? It'd be fun.
We're gonna do the dances, JQ too.
I can't do the dances. Come on.
Well, not with that attitude.
Not with that attitude.
Hey, I've seen break dancers in wheelchairs. That's all I'm saying. If there's a will, there's a way, Jacob.
If
There's no will.
There's a way.
Okay, so it's the lack of will. Got it. Okay.
Oh yeah. All right. So again, we're gonna end there. So we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. Be good.
All right.
You guys remember that game Crossman?